Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Tuesday, October the 7th. Make that October the 8th, 2024. And beautiful morning here in the Macedon Ranges today. I know I say that, well, I haven't said it for actually probably about the last 2 weeks because the weather's been pretty ordinary, but I'm just out with Neil at the moment. Now, I'm just going to turn this around here. Now, that is Neil there. I've had a few people say, who exactly is Neil? There you go, I'm going to give you a bit of a look at him. Stay there, buddy. That is Neil. Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's you. All right, so that is Neil. He's actually a little British bulldog that we got about 6 or 7 months ago, and he was a rescue dog. We're not exactly sure how old he is. We think he's about 6 or 7. But we lost our Aussie bulldog mid last year, I think it was, and absolutely broke our hearts when we lost Chili, was his name. And we had him for, what was he, 12? I think he was about to turn 12. And one of those things where I swore I'd never have another dog. And actually it was a meme. Well, wouldn't really call it a meme. Actually, it was a thing on social media that said if you're one of those people that said you'll never have another dog once you lose your best friend, you know, then maybe look at these pictures. And it was pictures of all these dogs that had been abandoned and were in shelters and all that sort of stuff. And it said maybe honour your previous dog by giving another dog a chance. So we got little Neil. It's been a bit of a process, and I know this is not the whole Neil Hosking show, but yeah, it's been a bit of a process because I got a feeling he didn't have the best life at his previous owners, and it's taken a while to get his trust and to get a little bit of emotion out of him, I suppose. But he's a good little dog. He has his moments, don't worry about that. But overall, he's a good little fella. All right, enough of Neil. He's still on my show. First of all, I just wanted to thank, I just actually looked at my followers this morning, and I wanted to thank everyone out there that subscribed. We're on about, well, just under 1,700 subscribers now. I know that's not exactly setting records in the world of YouTube and everything like that, but just for a channel that I launched probably about 3 years ago, just to sort of have my say, I suppose. I wasn't quite sure exactly how the show would go. I didn't really want to do a channel like a lot of other people have done out there, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just different. I've always, in business, in life, just never really wanted to go the way of everyone else. And I just thought in the boxing, well, we'll call it the boxing media landscape, the social media and all that stuff, that I didn't really want to just get a channel, and I wasn't really interested in interviewing fighters, even though we did do that early days, you know, chasing managers and promoters and fighters and doing interviews and just doing the same old that so many Instagrammers, YouTubers, whatever it is, had done. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, which is why I called it Boxing Deep Dive. I wanted to just actually pick topics and discuss. And in the early days, you would have seen we had quite a few different panel members, which was great. Tazzy Brown, Michael Tamura, Peter Maniatis, Noonan Boy, and countless others. But obviously they're all busy guys, and they've got families and jobs and businesses, and they're in the boxing business, and they're away, all that sort of stuff. So I sort of more went down the track of doing it solo. Hence why I do this every morning. I thought, why not? I'm out doing this walking Neil of a morning, so I may as well just have a chat to you guys for 15 or 20 minutes. And then obviously the talking boxing. I love the talking boxing, I really do. And it was great again last night for 2 hours, and it always flies by so quickly, it really does. And I just love having like-minded people on there that they're just boxing fans who want to talk boxing. It's as simple as that. And I have been on some other sites where it can get a little bit rambunctious, if that's what you want to call it. But I just wanted my channel to be somewhere that everyone could come and have their say and have fun and interact with each other while being respectful and all that at the same time, and just enjoying the sport. And to have nearly 1,700 people, I was actually rapt when we got to about 500, and then we got to 1,000, and there was high fives all around because all of a sudden I could be monetised, and I still haven't worked that out, by the way. So I've got 1,700 people or followers, but I still haven't been monetised. I'm not that stressed about it. When I got into this, I wasn't interested in all about the money. Everyone keeps telling me you've got to be monetised and you've got to have the super chats and you've got to do all this. Yeah, so it's not really my thing, and I didn't really launch the channel for that. But it's been great over the last 3 years just to every week get on there and talk with you guys, and I will be just on the channel. I will be doing some more of the stuff I was doing probably up to about 6 to 12 months ago. Apart from this and the talking boxing, I am going to be doing more of the. If you've been following the channel for a while, I used to do dream fights. I did classic fights as well, where we'd just go back and revisit some of the best fights in history and just have a bit of a backstory about the fight and talk about the fight. And there was also Watch a Verdict, going over a fight, going through all the 12 or 15 rounds, and these are the controversial decisions of the past, and just giving my views on who I thought won round by round, having highlights and then scoring the round, and that was always fun, because there's always, as always with a close controversial decision, there's always a couple of different views and sides of the story, and that always got some good feedback as well. So I might start doing those again. I've just been a little bit busy with a few things happening outside of the boxing media stuff. But as I said, I really enjoy doing what I do, and to get all the positive feedback that I do from you guys is very welcome. So I really appreciate it. It's not always positive, but you've got to expect that. I must admit, when I first started the channel, or doing these sorts of things, it was when we get your first bit of negative feedback, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing this for? But after a while, you get a thicker skin, and you sort of got to realise, if you're doing some of these sorts of videos with the controversial fights and the dream fights and all that sort of stuff, you're always going to have someone that doesn't agree with you. I've had no nasty comments, but there's been a few that have told me that maybe I should go and follow another sport and all this sort of stuff. But I tend to, one thing I always stand by is that I think I know what I'm sort of talking about. This is what I'd probably say to those that maybe disagree with some of the things I say and my comments and opinions, is that I think I'm educated enough to have my say. I've been in boxing for about 40 years and been a fighter, manager, promoter. So I think, and a fan more than anything. So I think I've got the right just to have an opinion, but I understand everyone else's out there's got their own, and I've always respected it, and that's probably the thing I think that resonates with people, is that I never disparage people or call them idiots, or whatever it might be. You don't know shit about boxing, whatever people might say, but I do enjoy it, and again I thank everyone that has watched and commented and everything else and sent me messages. It's all very much appreciated. So there's about 8 minutes that I've just wasted on myself. So, and Neil. On to some boxing news, not a hell of a lot in the last sort of 24 hours, but I did see that Devin Haney, sorry, I'll take that back, Ryan Garcia has indicated that he will fight Devin Haney next year once his suspension is up. So this is a little bit different to what we've probably seen from Ryan Garcia. Was it only a week or so ago where he said that wasn't interested in Haney rematch. He wanted him to live with the loss from April this year, for the rest of his career, and he hoped it would haunt him ongoing. So all of a sudden there's been a bit of a backflip, and probably quite rightly so. When you think about it, this could be one of the hottest fights of 2025. Now I might say I'm a fan of really either fighter, if I'm being honest, for different reasons. Ryan Garcia, who I think is a character, and I love the fact we need guys like Ryan Garcia in boxing. That's probably a good thing, and I really like the way he's one of those polarising guys, isn't he? Because he's one of those guys you can really take to and like and get behind, and as they say in America, root for. But he's also one of these guys who can really grate you the wrong way, and you just think he's just a peanut. So, and then you've got Devin Haney, who again on one side people think he's a brilliant tactician, good boxer. Others think he's a boring boxer and he's not a good person and his dad's an idiot and all the rest of it. But overall, the controversy of what happened earlier in this year probably guarantees it will be one of the hottest tickets in boxing next year, and there's probably going to be a few of those type of fights. So I don't mind it. Look, end of the day, it's all about money, isn't it? It's a little bit like WWE in this instance, though, where there's almost this storyline that's been created or evolved between the two, and it'll all culminate in a big fight in 2025. So I get it. They're in it. It's a dangerous sport. They're not in it for a long time, so make as much money as you can. We're all gullible. We'll all eat it all up, and we'll buy the pay-per-view, I'm sure. But yeah, it was probably only a matter of time before Ryan and Devin started talking about a fight next year, and who knows? It'll probably be off a couple of times and on a couple of more times. But I think eventually, in probably April or May next year, I think we'll get that. We'll get that rematch. Another rematch that I did see they're sort of starting to push for. I saw, of course, you would have seen on the weekend, Nick Ball beat Ronnie Rios in a really impressive performance. While he's looking for the Ray Vargas rematch, he wants the 4 belts. And look, one narrative I didn't like about it all, though, is that after the rip-off against Vargas, I don't think it was a rip-off. I thought it was actually a really close fight, and so did the judges. It was a draw. I don't sort of buy into the whole Nick Ball got ripped off against Ray Vargas. I thought, actually watching on the day, I thought a draw was a fair result, or even Vargas might have actually got the decision. I didn't think Nick Ball got anywhere near him for the first half of the fight. I thought Vargas boxed really, really well. And yes, Ball came home really strong in the end. But yeah, I was actually quite comfortable with the decision. Having said that, I'd like to see a rematch. That'd be great. I'd like to see all 4 belts unified, and then once they're unified, we'll probably see Naoya Inoue say, okay, now the time is right. They've done the hard work for me. They've got the 4 belts sitting there. I've only got to fight one guy. He could maybe go up and win the Undisputed and then probably go back down, I would say, to 122, which I think is probably his most comfortable division at this stage of his career. And then he can, just get Neil here, who's decided to, come here, buddy. Oh, come here, you're not crossing the road. Decided to cross the road. Then he can go back down and give us the fight we all want against Junto Nakatani. That is the fight for me. Isn't it interesting? We've had, or about to have, the biggest fight, arguably, of 2024 in 2 Russians, Beterbiev and Bivol. Next year, could the biggest fight be between 2 Japanese fighters, Nakatani and Inoue? So it's isn't that amazing how the boxing world, or the world of boxing, has evolved to the point where the 2 biggest fights in boxing could be between 2 Japanese fighters and 2 Russian fighters against each other. So we'll look forward to that next year. And just finally, I did see that Tyson Fury has said that he's going to come in a lot heavier against Usyk, as my wife Tara goes past. He's going to come in up to 15 pounds heavier against Alexander Usyk in the rematch. So that's an interesting one. Obviously, he thought that maybe he was a bit light in the first fight and maybe wasn't the same fighter that he had been in some of those epics against Deontay Wilder and Klitschko. So he's said he's going to be bigger, badder, and he's going to be the gypsy bruiser that we used to see in previous fights. So yeah, it could probably obviously go 2 ways. It could be a good decision where he bullies Usyk and lays on him and tires him out and really gets a little bit more rough with Alexander Usyk, or it could backfire where all of a sudden Usyk doesn't lay on the ropes, he doesn't lay in the corner, he doesn't allow Tyson Fury to be on him and muscle him, and he just runs rings around a big, heavy Tyson Fury during the fight and wins an easy decision. So look, I think you've got to, I'm a little bit in between. I would think with Tyson Fury, I would go in there the same weight as he was last time, which was 262, by the way. This time he wants to be 277. because the fight was that close. It could have gone either way. I'm not sure you would want to be playing with fire to the extent where you're going to really maybe potentially hinder yourself with being so heavy. I would probably be focusing more on little tweaks to the game plan rather than worrying about the weight. I don't think it was the weight that was the reason he lost that decision to Usyk. And as I said, it was razor thin. It could have gone either way. So why not maybe tweak a few things strategic-wise and maybe see if that gets you the win. I just thought he wasn't aggressive enough early in the fight. Was it early in the fight? I haven't really rewatched it for a while, but I just thought he wasn't busy enough and aggressive enough against Usyk, who was given sort of license to sort of do what he wanted for a while. He had he did win a lot of the early rounds, Sydney, and then Usyk came back. So sorry, it's probably been a couple of months since I've rewatched it, but. So I would be sort of looking at that rather than simply saying, well, I'll just come in heavier and that'll solve everything. So anyway, it's a roll of the dice, and I'm sure they know what they're doing. And let's see if it pays dividends in December. And what a week that's going to be. December 21st, Usyk Fury 2. And then it looks like December 24th, Christmas Eve, Naoya Inoue and Sam Goodman. Before that, of course, for us Aussies, we've got Liam Paro, Richardson Hitchens, we've got Tim Tszyu and Bakram Murtazalyov. So we've got a big few months for Aussie boxing and world boxing. And I think George Kambosos was maybe talking about fighting before the end of the year as well. So plenty to happen still in 2024. So guys, that is going to do it for this Tuesday. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.